Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This video is gonna be very exciting because I am gonna be doing a look with my favorite indie makeup from my favorite European indie brands. So I'm very excited to use all my favorites and to really put a spotlight on these brands that I really love. So let's get into it. So recently I did a video, I don't even remember what video it was, but there was this video where I was like, would you like to see my favorite European indie brands and my favorites from them? And you guys really responded with a lot of excitement, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a video like this. So that is what we're doing today. Picking out the things for this video did really make me realize that I have to try more European indie brands. Like, this is not enough. There's more out there, and you guys already gave me a lot of good suggestions, so I'm keeping an eye out. I'm gonna try some other European indie brands as well, but these are my favorites right now, so we're just gonna get into it. I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit. It's been a long day. I just went out to eat and I just went for a walk and it was sunny, and now I'm home and it's already like later in the evening, but I just felt like filming something. I just felt like filming this, so we are just gonna do something kind of chill and fun. And I am gonna start with the eyes, and I'm gonna start with the GlossGods Vintage Glam eyeshadow palette. This is such a beautiful color story. I love the sparkly shimmers in here. I love the shades we have, like the vibes, the bright purples. I'm really into, it really matches my nail polish. Ooh, that's nice. But I'm so into this palette. I really love just the kind of fairy princess inspiration that this gives me. So I just want to start out with that. And I kind of tried to give every brand a place in this look, so every brand has a chance to shine. Okay, I'm gonna start, I think, with the shade Fading Memories, this kind of rosy pink over here. I love rosy pink eyeshadow. Is it my favorite? It basically is one of my favorites. I feel like it always looks so good. I really need to wash my brushes. It is absolutely terrible, horrible. Alright, I just kind of cleaned a brush and we're gonna go in. I already primed my eyelids. I usually do that before filming. I don't have a favorite European indie brand eyeshadow primer. It's pretty hard for me to find primers that I like. I have only basically found one in my whole makeup existence, which has been about 14 years now that I have worn makeup and worn eyeshadow. I have this weird spot over here that is kind of like a dry spot with some eczema, and like eyeshadows don't really blend well over it right now. It's not the fault of the eyeshadow, it's just my weird eyelids. And I kind of feel like I need a different eyeshadow primer for this part of my eye than the rest. Something a little bit more creamy, because now everything that goes over here kind of looks weird and dry, which is totally my fault. Like, what are these eyelids even doing? Alright, that is the pink. And what do I want to do now? I think I'm gonna go in a little bit with It's a Classic, just a tiny bit to kind of slightly create some shadow, but I kind of am not feeling a super dark look right now, so it's just for a little like hint of a shadow in the outer corner. I just want to blend over the edges a little bit to mesh it all together. For the next step, I have chosen to grab one of the Oden's Eye multi-chrome single eyeshadows. I really like these. I think these are so cute. I think these are a great formula, beautiful shiny shades. I have 5 of these. I could see myself getting more, and I know they restocked them, but like maybe later. It's a bit early for me to buy more. I first want to use these more, and I think I was talking about multi-chromes, but this actually isn't a multi-chrome. This shade is called Olivia. I think this is such a cute shade, so I'm just gonna apply that on the lid. See how that works out. Okay, it's definitely more peachy than what I have going on right now, but I feel like it's gonna like work in the end. Okay, I feel like I kind of have to talk about these brands a little more. I'm a bit distracted by my makeup. I usually just talk about the makeup and don't really like do application in the meantime. Like, I do it with first impressions, but not really with like favorites videos. Okay, so what we just used, GlossGods, is a Swedish indie brand, and I think they do some really cute stuff. I personally love the new neutrals and the vintage glam the most. Like, I also got the cool tone palette, like the smoky palette. I didn't like that one as much. This is the new neutrals. I'm not using this one today, but this is really so beautiful. Like these kind of grungy neutrals, a bit neutral to warm leaning with a hint of green in there, and then also like these sparkles that we have here. We also have this multi-chrome shade over here that I really love. I think this is such a great brand. I'm very excited to see what they will come out with, even though I haven't loved everything, absolutely everything that I've tried from them, which I'm like a little bit sad about. I am still very excited about the brand. And then Oden's Eye is a brand that I have featured on my channel a lot over the past year or so. I think they do such beautiful eyeshadows, but as you will see later on in this look, I also think they do beautiful, beautiful blushes. And I also really like the lip products that they have, like the ones that I've tried. I have not tried all of the lip products, but they do carry some really beautiful like lip options. So with Oden's Eye, I really trust like their quality. I really trust the brand. With GlossGods, I am a little bit new to the brand still. I wouldn't like blindly like buy everything and be sure that I got something that is a good thing for me. But I am really excited about them, so I would still say it's like one of my favorite European indie brands for sure. Just blending this all together a little bit. So this shimmer is kind of like a pinky peach with some cool toned shimmer throughout it, and I feel like that cool tone shimmer like really makes sure that it matches with the rest of the eyeshadow. I think for the inner corner I'm gonna go into the shade called Old Soul, which is kind of like a yellow to pink duochrome shimmer, which I think is super cute. Like the pink really comes out as well when you use it on the eyes. I really love yellow eyeshadow. This is like such a beautiful combo, like such a beautiful duochrome. I guess kind of like the point of this video is also to let European people know that it is possible to find good makeup, like sparkly beautiful makeup within Europe, like easily to get in Europe, because sometimes it can kind of feel like all the hyped makeup is from the US or maybe Australia. It is sometimes kind of hard to keep up with all of these like brands that will cost you a lot of money, like the shipping and the taxes. It's just a lot. I'm gonna go back into It's a Classic and I'm gonna use it on the lower lash line. And it's kind of easy to forget what you already kind of have close by, especially if those brands aren't talked about a lot, and usually indie brands already aren't talked about a lot. Kind of hard sometimes to find reviews on them. I feel like even though the excitement seems to have grown like in the past few years, it can be kind of difficult to find the right information on indie brands. And now for the eyeliner, I want to use the Nabla Arrow number 7. So this is kind of like a thicker pencil that you can smudge out, and I really love this. This is so good, such good quality, so easy to smudge out, and I really like the shade, kind of like this darker maroon type of eyeliner, which goes with a lot of kind of like the softer pinky looks that I tend to do. Also really works on its own without any eyeshadow. I've also seen this used as kind of like a base for eyeshadow. I haven't tried it like that personally, but Nabla is another European indie brand that has really stolen my heart. I do feel like kind of like their style of products isn't totally up my alley. Like these past few years, they've kind of changed their like aesthetic and their way of like promoting their products, like the videos and the whole vibe of the brand has really changed, because they used to really do things like this one. The Nabla Dreamy palette is one of my favorite palettes. I love the whole aesthetic. I love the whole vibe. I love the color story. It's so pretty, and I just really love that like era of Nabla Cosmetics. And now they're kind of doing more luxury makeup vibes. And their new lipsticks are an example of that, like the Nabla matte lipstick, matte pleasure matte lipstick. This one is a naked mauve. I did a review on these lipsticks and like they really changed the aesthetic with these, and it's not like 100% my aesthetic. So I used to love Nabla more when they were doing more of that kind of like soft, girly, dreamy vibe. But I still use their products so much and I still really love their products. Like sometimes I think, well, Nabla isn't my favorite brand anymore, but then I think a little more and I realize that they still are. Like maybe not all of their new releases are grabbing my attention like Oden's eye does, but there are so many staple products that I use by Nabla. Like they have really stood the test of time. They're really just amazing quality. So I would say Nabla is still one of my absolute favorite brands. And I think one of the reasons I almost used this palette, but I was like, okay, I need to do something where every brand can be showcased a little bit. Where did I leave this palette? Alright, under the palette that I'm using. So the Side by Side Nude eyeshadow palette by Nabla is one of my most used palettes, if not my most used palette. I have used this so much. This is like the perfect neutral palette, and I have seen kind of like a lot of people that I watch hyping this palette up, and it's totally deserved. It's great quality, it is great shades, and it's so user friendly. So that is a palette that I use almost weekly, which is a lot for me. I tend to change it up. And then we also have the Nabla Skin Bronzing in Ambra. This is my most used bronzer, basically in my collection. There are a few that are kind of up there with this one, but I've used this one so much. Alright, that is the eyeliner blended out. I really like how this kind of added some structure to the look. I'm just gonna clean up under my eyes a little bit and put on some mascara. My lips feel a little dry, so let's move on to the next brand. This is the Nimya 24/7 365 lip balm. This is my most used #1 top 1 lonely at the top lip balm. This is so good. It smells so good. It feels so good. It's so hydrating. This is so yummy. I am such a big fan of this lip balm. I have been using it non-stop since I got it, and it's still like there's still product in there. Like it goes a long way. I think this is a great lip balm. This is my favorite. I don't know what she put in here, but this is amazing and I keep using it. Okay, let's move on to the Nabla Skin Bronzing. This is my, I believe, only indie bronzer, but it is so good. This is such a favorite. I have been using it for a long time now and I just keep on going back to it. It is just so easy to use, such a great formula. Like no complaints whatsoever. I really like the color because it's also not too orange or too warm. I do feel like there's a bit of orange left on this brush. Whoops. Okay, so this looks orange, but it isn't orange. Alright, so that is a bit of a fail. That doesn't really show you the color much because it's very much changed because of the shade of orange that was still on that brush from my Bloomin' Bright review of the Essence collection. Okay, this is orange. This is the usual color. Yeah, we're just gonna live with it. This is such a nice baked gelée formula. It blends into the skin so easily. It is very creamy. It has this natural glow without being glittery. I really love it. It is such a foolproof kind of bronzer. Like you can't really go wrong with it. This is also such a good shade for me. Like can't really do anything weird with that. It's not pigmented enough to do anything weird. And then for the highlighter, my basically favorite and most used highlighter of my whole collection is the Nabla Skin Glazing in Privilege. This is such a beautiful peachy pink champagne. It is such a gorgeous skin glazing, like smooth skin-like highlighter that is still very glowy. It is once again such a beautiful baked gelée formula. I love the baked gelée formulas. I'm so glad that I picked this up. Like it took me a while when they came out with this. It took me a while to actually go for it. Like I thought it was a little bit expensive. At the time I wasn't spending that much money on makeup and I was like, don't know if I should do that. Maybe I can find a dupe. And then I bought it and I was like, nothing compares to this, nothing is similar to this. And with this one you really have to use it a little bit to get to the good part, because there's kind of like this seal almost on top of the powder, and once you kind of like break through it with your brush, it just becomes so much more glowy. Like when I first bought it I was like, I don't even see it on my skin, what is the point, why is everybody so excited about this? And then I used it a little bit more and I discovered like the beauty, the glow, the stunning effect this has on the skin. I also believe that I almost hit pan on it. I feel like I'm very close to hitting pan and I'm still using this one a lot. So that is the bronzer and the highlighter. For the blush, I kind of want to see what I want to do. I have some Oden's eye blushes. I love the old blushes from Oden's eye. I know that they have new blushes. I haven't tried them yet. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I believe like the fruit blushes, they are no longer available, but the flower blushers, I believe they are still available. I still saw them on the side. You still have a chance to buy them, so we're just gonna use it. We're just gonna use it. This is my favorite shade. This is Water Lily. It's kind of like this mauve terracotta. Like it looks very like this sunburned kind of shade. It's very pigmented. I am just gonna apply a little bit carefully, It's not unusable, but you just have to be a little bit careful when applying this. I really love how this whole look is coming together. I know I kind of made it look weird with the orange that was still on my brush. Like I did not realize that would change the look of the bronzer that much, but now everything together, I really like it. And we're not even done yet. I'm just gonna blend the edges a little bit. It's such a pigmented shade. I feel like in the other format I can talk about the products a little bit more, but the thing I like about this format is that you can really see what they do. So let me know what you like the most. Do you like it when I just show you the product, I tell you about each product, or if I do it more like casually but doing the makeup at the same time? I'm gonna do my brows off camera and then we can move on to the lips. Okay, so I recently bought a new brow gel, like the other one that I had of this. It's the same one, but the old one that I had, it was really dried out, and I have a new fresh one and I keep like messing up. It looks a little bit wild. Alright, so I'm gonna take off this lip balm and then I'm gonna use the Nabla Close Up Lip Shaper, I believe it's called. Close Up Lip Shaper in Nude 01. So it's a really light shade, it's a very nude shade for me. Not much deeper than my actual lips, but it's a good base to kind of put something over top. Like maybe it's a little bit lighter actually. It kind of cancels out my lips a little bit, but it's a great formula. Not too creamy, it's long lasting, but it's pigmented enough. Like sometimes lip liners can be a bit too dry. That's also not the case with this one. It's just like this right in between kind of formula. Alright, so that is the lip liner. Let's see what kind of lip gloss I want to wear. I really love the Nimya lip glosses. They are great formula. They are not too sticky, not too thick, not too thin. They feel very hydrating. They have a nice kind of sweet like bakery scent, which I really love. And they're really easily accessible for me. I'm in the Netherlands. This brand is in the Netherlands. I can get it at like Douglas, which is really nice. Like if you're in the Netherlands, you can get this at Douglas as well. They usually don't do the sales on them. Like Douglas, they do have some 25% off like sales, but they don't do it on the Nimya products. But you can order them there, which can lead to you not having to pay shipping, like any shipping. Yeah, and I really like this. Like the eyeshadow palette was not my personal favorite, but the lip product so far has been huge hits. And I think I'm just gonna go with the shade Pinky Promise, which is a creamy pinky peach nude. My lips are a little bit dry right now, so I hope this lip gloss is really gonna make sure that they don't feel dry anymore. I did put on a little bit much, as you can tell. Alright, so that is a lip gloss. I really like how it looks. It's just so like it gives such a nice volume. It isn't too pigmented. That is something that I personally don't really like with lip glosses, when they're too pigmented and too thick. Like, this is really to wear on its own with a really minimal makeup, or put it on something else, and it will kind of mesh in with the other thing you have underneath, which I really like. Alright, so this is the finished look. I really love how everything came out. I really love how the cheeks look, how bronzy they are. Really love the lips, and the eyeshadow is just like really cute, I think. I just have a few more things to say about these brands. I really want to spotlight them. I really want to tell you what's it all about. So let's go over the brands. So first up, we have the GlossGods brand. I personally really love these two eyeshadow palettes. They are great. They have beautiful color stories, beautiful like shimmery eyeshadows. Then Nabla. I have so many of the Nabla products. I usually really love their eyeshadow products. Like, they do a good job with them. Great formulas, a lot of different types of textures and everything. Also the Nabla Dreamy 2 palette, I think is such a cute palette. Very mysterious, kind of dark. We have some kind of latex mattes in here, which are kind of like these creamy mattes. We have this Libertine and Rem shade, which are very sparkly. I really love those. I also really love the Shine Theory lip gloss that I have by Nabla. This is the shade Stardust Radio, like a warm like see-through red. I really think this is so cute. Then we have the cheek products, like the bronzer and the highlighter are amazing. Some of my favorite products in my whole entire collection. Then we have Oden's Eye. I really love the Oden's Eye eyeshadow formula. They've done so many beautiful eyeshadow palettes. A lot of the eyeshadow palettes that are my absolute favorites are limited edition, so keep an eye out on that if you want to try this brand. It could be that right now you don't see your perfect color story on the website, but if you wait a little bit, they do a lot of different collections, a lot of different eyeshadow palettes, so just keep an eye out. But one I really love is the Norns eyeshadow palette. Like, this row on the bottom is just absolutely stunning. It's such an interesting color story. There's a lot going on here. This Pink Chameleon is a multi-chrome shade. I really love this. This is the palette that really made me fall in love with the brand. I also really love the packaging that they do. It is so like ethereal and beautiful. The whole aesthetic of this brand is like Norse mythology, which I really love. It's so up my alley. But then we also have the Elbow Cream lip stains that I really love. This is such an amazing kind of like semi see-through, like glossy liquid lip. It is kind of like pigmented but see-through at the same time. This is the shade A Little Jasmine. This is my favorite shade. This is a beautiful like warmer mid-tone nude shade, which I really love. It is so beautiful. Then we also have the flower blushers, of course, that I used on my skin. These are like a kind of satin formula. They have some shimmer in there. Like, if you look at them in the pan, there is some shimmer in here, but you don't really see it on the cheeks. It's more of a satin, like natural satin, slight sheen on the cheeks, which I really love. I really love the shade. I love the pigment, and it just looks very perfecting on the skin, which I really love. I feel like I've said really love a lot of times, but it's just how I show my appreciation for these beautiful products. And then, like, I have talked about a lot of these brands a lot on my channel because they are favorites. Like, they are in this video because they are favorites. But the lip products by Nimya are absolutely amazing. I have worn these glosses so many times. I have used this lip balm so many times. It's like in my purse, it's in my pocket, it's in my bag. It is absolutely everywhere I go. It goes with me. And I think that's kind of all I wanted to say. I just want to say, keep an eye out for these brands. They are amazing. They do some amazing stuff. They get me really excited, and I think it is worth checking them out. And then that's gonna be everything for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. And let me know what are the European indie brands that I should try. There is still so much out there that I haven't even given a chance yet, and it is time. It is time to discover more. Like, I've heard people talk about Glam Shop, which I think is a really interesting brand, but I feel like they have a lot, so I don't really know where to start there. But let me know. I would love to hear from you, and then I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.